Chapter 2, The Tower.
You're on a path. You're here to slay her.
Aber ich bin gestorben, was mache ich
I
hier?
can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago.
Ich kann dir versichern, dass du nicht tot bist. Und um deine zweite Frage zu beantworten, bist hier, um die Prinzessin zu töten.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Wenn er sich nicht daran erinnern kann, was passiert ist, dann ist es am besten, dass du zu Hause.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
Du weißt, ich kann dich hören, richtig? Es ist einiges schwere Geheimnisse von mir zu bewahren, als du denkst.
What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
Welchen Sinn macht es, was er weiß? Es gibt nichts, wie wir sie aufhalten können. Sie wird uns einfach wieder töten.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Sie wird dich nicht umbringen, außer du lässt sie. Um die Prinzessin umzubringen und die Welt zu retten, es wird einiges schwerer sein, als es notwendig ist, wenn du die ganze Zeit dich selbst hinterfragst. Lass uns annehmen, ich erzähle die Wahrheit und alle das ist schon wirklich passiert. Warum sollte ich dir zuhören und warum sollte ich es nochmal in Angriff nehmen? Und warum sollte ich überhaupt irgendwas machen?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
Das sind zwei vollkommen unterschiedliche Fragen, aber okay. Wenn es das ist, was dich dazu bringt, dich zu bewegen, dann...
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Lass uns für einen Moment annehmen, dass es wirklich das zweite Mal ist, dass wir uns treffen, oder eine Version von mir.
You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Du bist das letzte Mal gestorben, was sicherlich nur passiert ist, weil du nicht auf mich gehört hast.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die.
Natürlich starben wir. Wir konnten nicht einen einzigen Treffer hier auf sie landen, bevor sie jeden Knochen in uns zerbrochen hat und entschieden hat, uns sterben zu lassen.
What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless.
Was wird von uns erwartet, um sie aufzuhalten? Wie können wir sie jetzt aufhalten? Es ist sinnlos.
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right.
Sie ist nur eine Prinzessin. Sie zu ermorden sollte nicht so schwer sein, aber Glückwunsch. Du hast eine weitere Chance bekommen, es richtig zu machen.
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Und ich glaube, deine andere Frage war etwas wie, was für einen Einfluss hat es überhaupt? Wenn du das fragst, hört sich für mich so an, als bist du der Annahme erlegen, dass deine Aktionen das letzte Mal überhaupt keine Konsequenzen hatten.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Was meinst du? Natürlich waren da keine Konsequenzen. Die Prinzessin hat uns umgebracht und jetzt sind wir wieder zurück an dem Punkt, wo alles angefangen hat. Hört sich für mich ziemlich konsequenzlos an.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Ja, aber in diesem komplett hypothetischen Szenario wirft es die Frage auf, wie du hierher zurückgekommen bist. Wurde einfach die Zeit zurückgedreht oder wurdest du stattdessen in ein komplett andere Welt transportiert.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
Was denkst du, was passiert ist, nachdem du
Do you
gestorben
think the
bist?
people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Denkst du, die anderen Leute lebten glücklich weiter danach? Oder denkst du, dass die Prinzessin sich befreit hat und alles zum Ende gebracht hat, wie ich es dir erzählt habe, sie würde?
If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end.
Wenn sie die ganze Welt beendet hat, warum soll es uns dann überhaupt stören? Wir können genauso in die Hütte gehen, ihre Ketten aufbrechen und sie machen lassen, was immer sie machen möchte. Ist alles das Gleiche im Ende.
Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Nur weil sie in der Lage ist, die Welt zu beenden, heißt das nicht, dass du nicht dazu in der Lage bist, sie zu töten. Beide Sachen können gleichzeitig wahr sein. Also Kinn hoch, ich glaube an dich. Kopf hoch. Proceed to the cabin, talk about the princess, turn around.
Just be quick about it.
Unterhalten uns über die Prinzessin. Nur um dich zu zitieren, sie ist nur eine Prinzessin. Wie war sie stark genug, um mich zu Tode zu prügeln mit ihren blanken Händen?
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin and you'll be fine.
Sie ist nur eine Prinzessin. Egal was du denkst über das letzte Mal, schau, dass du es aus deinem Kopf rausbekommst und zur Hütte gehst. Alles wird gut.
We could pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending that we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Oder wir können uns ihr einfach ergeben und uns nicht weiter vormachen, dass wir in der Lage sind, überhaupt irgendwas an der Situation zu ändern. Sie braucht uns wahrscheinlich nicht mal zu überwältigen.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
Können wir den Pessimismus eine Stufe runterschrauben?
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
Ich bin kein Pessimist, ich bin Realist.
You're being annoying.
Du nervst.
Just ignore their bickering and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
Ignoriere deine zwar innere Stimme und egal was du machst, gib dich nicht im Endeffekt hin. Du kannst dir gar nicht vorstellen, wie katastrophal das für jeden wäre, inklusive für dir selbst. Wer hat sie dort
People
eingesperrt?
locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Leute haben sie eingesperrt. Du wirst mir aber auch keine echten Antworten geben, sondern weichst aus. And I told you what this place is. Ich habe dir erzählt, was das für ein Platz ist. Ein Pfad im Wald. Mach nicht alles schwieriger, als es ist. Wenn Leute sie weggesperrt haben, warum können sie nicht umbringen? Warum fällt das auf mich zurück?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
Schau, eigentlich ist es nicht meine Aufgabe, dir das zu sagen, aber du bist besonders. bist die einzige Person, die in der Lage ist, das zu tun. Nenne es eine Vorhersagung, wenn das hilft, aber es ist halt so, wie es ist.
Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Ich wusste nicht, dass wir besonders sind.
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again.
Wen kümmert's, wenn du denkst, wir sind besonders? Soweit wie ich sagen kann, ist das Einzige, was besonders ist an uns, dass wir die Erfahrung eines schmerzhaften Todes wieder und wieder erleiden.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. The less you know about her, the better. Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen.
Ja,
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Großartig. Ja, wenn es dir jetzt nichts ausmacht, die gesamte Welt wartet mit angehaltenem Atem darauf, dass du sie vor den Ruinen rettest.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat. Lying? Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't. She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here. The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Interessant, dass das von innen so ein...
The blade is your implement. You'll need... Why do we feel so? We don't feel small. We are small.
Wir fühlen uns nicht klein, wir sind klein. Die ganze Hütte ist anders als das letzte Mal.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Vielleicht ist das, weil du noch nicht hier warst. Ich hoffe, das endgültig verwirft diesen letzten Lebenssinn, Unsinn. Du bist nicht gestorben und sicher nicht von der Prinzessin getötet worden. Schauen wir mal ein Spiel an.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Es ist eine Mauer, nicht viel zu
What are you
sehen.
talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Wir sollten uns glücklich schätzen. Einige Sachen bleiben besser ungesehen.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
Also jetzt haben wir eine Wendeltreppe, deren Stufen fast so hoch sind, wie ich groß bin. Und der Duft von Rauch kommt von oben herauf. Für einen Moment fühlst du dich frei. Vielleicht.
This is actually kind of nice.
Das ist ziemlich nett hier.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Es ist immer noch ein Steinkeller.
Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Ist das ein Gast, den ich dort höre? Down, bleib nicht auf den Treppen, komm runter und nimm mich wahr.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time.
Das letzte Mal war sie nicht so.
We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Sie will, dass wir runterkommen. Sie will uns sehen. Wir müssen sie sehen.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there.
Was sollten wir uns Sorgen darüber machen, dass du deine Meinung geändert hast? Vor ein paar Minuten wolltest du uns noch erklären, wie nutzlos alles war und jetzt willst du noch runtergehen?
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Ja, dann gehen wir mal runter.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
Also wir klettern die Stufen runter und Ende kommt bald in Sicht und unten angekommen betreten wir einen riesigen, tempelähnlichen Raum dahinter.
The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Hör mal auf dich.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
So viel zu tighten the grip.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Ich muss mich an die Fakten halten und der Fakt ist nun mal, dass die Waffe erst fallen
Of
lassen.
course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Natürlich haben wir sie fallen lassen. Sie ist so viel mehr wie wir.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Knie nieder.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson. You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? And you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay, first things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
Was passierte mit dir, nachdem ich gestorben bin?
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
So. Nur weil erwartet wird, dass du die Welt beendest, heißt es nicht, dass du es machen musst. Du kannst sein, was du willst.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart. All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
Wenn du so machtvoll bist, warum kannst du dich selber brechen?
Don't be rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily. But that isn't what The story of a terrible and bountiful God unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am, or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference, because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
Ja, dann opfern wir uns mal. Ich bin in deinen Händen.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent? All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her, not when the stakes are so high, not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
So, jetzt übernimmt der wieder die Kontrolle.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
Ah!
Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade. All you need to do is believe it's been done.
And what if I don't believe? What happens then?
You poor, wretched little thing. You already do believe. You've always believed. All you have to do is open the last door to your heart. It's easy. And once you let her in, please don't do this.
Break her chains.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
Aber du nimmst nicht ihre Hand. Irgendwas hat sie weggenommen und etwas anderes zurückgelassen.
She's gone. Where did she go? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? He is. Does that mean the world ended? Figures the world would end and leave us with all this. There's something dreadful about it. I don't want to look at us. You're right. She's gone. It's just... I feel anxious. I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels... I don't know.
Näherst dich dem Spiel.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connections, a dim and nascent network. I wish to be more. I think that you are like me. We are oceans reduced to shallow creeks. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you. How can the world have ended if we are talking? Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt. I know only that they are. Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. Everything, until we meet again. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Ich gehe nicht zurück oder lass mich vergessen. Lass mich vergessen. Machen wir es nochmal.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.